Hello, welcome back to another Tier List Tuesday. This week we will be tackling the best Xbox 360 games, putting them into tiers of where I think and games that I've played. I can't remember a lot of them, but I'll try and remember and unlock the memories from back then in my brain. And we'll jump straight into that right now. So let's get into it. Okay, here we go. So we've got the tiers here. S, 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 A, B, C, D, F, and never played. Some of these I've never played. Some of these I vaguely remember. Some of them I've actually just played for a little bit because I went through a massive stage of just buying games and trying games out and then taking them over the road to Blockbuster and trading them in. So we will crack on with this. Okay, first up is Kinect Adventures. Now, the Kinect, a lot of people don't like talking about the Kinect because, and rightly so, because the Kinect was a pile of shit. It didn't really work. I owned one, and it was absolutely embarrassing. So Kinect Adventures, sticking it an F. Basically, you stood in front of the Kinect, and you basically just leaned to the side and jumped up and down, and you were on a raft, and you collected coins. It was absolute bollocks. So anything by the Kinect is probably going to be really low by here, because I think it was an embarrassing device. And Xbox tried to push it so hard and even bundle it with the Xbox One, so you had to have it. And it's not even doesn't even exist anymore. It's a distant memory. I think Xbox just like to forget about the Kinect now. It's never coming back. Okay, next up we got Viva Pinata, which basically was a game, like a sandbox game. If you think of something along the lines of, it was sort of like The Sims in a way. It was kind of like you had to build a little farm and get these little pinata animals to come to your area, and you could help raise them, feed them, and it was very Pokemonish. I quite liked it actually. I quite enjoyed Viva Pinata. It also got a sequel, but I quite enjoyed that back in the day. I have fond memories of it, so I'm going to stick it at an A. Oh no, B. Stick it at a B. Ghost Recon 2, Advanced Warfighter. Vaguely remember playing this game, third-person tactical shooting game from the Tom Clancy's universe. I don't really remember if it had a multiplayer or anything like that, but I remember it was received well critically. I'm going to stick that at a. I'm going to stick it at a C because I didn't really get into it, but I know it's a good game. Half-Life 2, the orange box, which came with Portal and Team Fortress. So it was 3 games in one. I owned this. I thought it was great. I love Portal. I love Portal 2. Team Fortress was pretty decent as a third-person multiplayer shooter. And Half-Life 2, one of the greatest first-person shooters games ever made. So that's probably going to be an S, I would say. Half-Life 2, great game. People still pining for a Half-Life 3. I don't think we'll ever get Half-Life 3. I don't think we even need Half-Life 3. Many players now don't even know what Half-Life is. So to bring back Half-Life 3, you'd have to probably remaster Half-Life 1 and 2. Although Half-Life 1 was remastered by fans, and Steam put it on sale. It's called Half-Life Black Mesa, which I've played, and it's really, really good. A really good remake. But yeah, I'm going to stick that at an S. Ninja Gaiden 2. Probably one of the hardest games, or one of the hardest franchises ever. Very sort of, I wouldn't say it was Dark Souls, but it kind of was in a way. It was Dark Souls before Dark Souls was a thing. Third-person hack and slash game, very difficult, massive boss battles. There was Ninja Gaiden 1, 2, 3. I played the first one and put it down because it was ridiculously hard, but I know that it's a good game, so that's going to have to go an A. And I think they've just been remastered as well. Left 4 Dead. A 4-player online asymmetric shooting game where it's 4 players playing cooperatively against hordes of zombies. They've really tried to capture this game's formula again with Back 4 Blood, which was terrible. It also had a sequel called Left 4 Dead 2. I really enjoyed it. I've got it on PC, rebought it, and probably worth a remake, or a Left 4 Dead 3. Do you know what I mean? But really fun game for its time. Really enjoyed it. I'm going to put that an S. Halo Wars. Never played Halo Wars, but it's apparently good. Top-down Command and Conquer style game. I know there's a term for that sort of game, where it's turn-based and stuff, but never really appealed to me, that side of the Halo franchise, so not going to pan it. Never played it. Don't have an opinion on it. Dead or Alive 4. I can't remember if I've played Dead or Alive 4, but I have played Dead or Alive, and it is one of my favourite fighting games. Best fighting game for me, Mortal Kombat. But yeah, fighting game. Got to really be in the mood for a fighting game. You know, I don't really like paying full price for a fighting game because I know that I'm the type of person that just sort of plays it for a little bit, goes through the story, gets my ass handed to me online, and then usually deletes it. So, Left 4 Dead, probably going to put that at C. Never played Rock Band 2. Battlefield Bad Company 2, probably one of the best Battlefields ever. Battlefield 3 was a great game as well. Don't think that's on it. Yes, it is on here. Battlefield Bad Company 2, didn't really play. I came into that game very late, but I loved that. I think that was the first Battlefield game I ever played, actually. But I was blown away by the destruction, and I really, really sort of enjoyed getting into that and how big totally different to Call of Duty. I never understood the whole thing about putting Battlefield against Call of Duty because they're so different games. Call of Duty is although it's trying to be a bit more Battlefield now with the bigger maps and bigger lobbies and stuff. But Battlefield was sort of stood on its own as like massive, huge sandbox, fighting in cities, blowing up buildings, helicopters, tanks, the lot. So I really enjoy Battlefield. I'm going to stick it at an A. The Force Unleashed, a great game. Also got a sequel. Don't know if that's on here. No, it's not. Really enjoy it. He plays Darth Vader's apprentice, secret apprentice, and you had all these abilities. It was third person. It told a different story. I think it was actually classed as canon. I'm not too sure. But you played, I can't remember, the Starkiller, I think his name was. Who's that guy, Sam Witwicky or whatever his name is, and it was a great game. You had all these force abilities, fighting stormtroopers, choke holding them, force pushing them, electrocuting them. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good Star Wars game. Probably going to stick that at an A. Guitar Hero, never played Guitar Hero World Tour at least, but I have played the other Guitar Hero games, but never played that. Never played UFC. That's just another game that's just not really for me. You've got to really be a big fan of UFC to sort of play them kind of games. Not my cup of tea. Trials HD. Really enjoyed playing Trials. It was like a 3D side-scrolling physics game where you had to ride a motorbike, but you could tilt your bike back and forward, do backflips and stuff. Play levels that other people had designed, so it was always fresh and new. I enjoyed Trials. I could stick that an A. We've got Fight Night, round 1. Can't remember if I've played this, but I do enjoy Fight Night games, or I did. I thought the boxing game, they don't really get them anymore. Maybe something that EA could maybe sort of revisit and revamp. But Fight Night, never really played it. Never played that one anyway, so I'm just going to stick that there. Call of Duty 2, played this. Loved it, thought it was great. I don't know if it had a multiplayer, I can't remember. I'll probably stick that at a B. Original Ghost Recon, Advanced Warfare, probably would stick that there as well because I quite enjoyed that game as well. Resident Evil 5, although it had the cooperative that sort of killed the survival horror for me, especially with Sheva. If you give her all the healing items, she would just use them willy-nilly. But I thought it had a good story. It sort of tied up the Chris versus Albert Wesker sort of vibe. Still, I think the highest selling Resident Evil game to this day. I will probably stick that at a B. I'd stick that at a B. Perfect Dark Zero. Awful game. Perfect Dark is desperately trying to get back to its roots. There's a new game that's in development that's been in a lot of trouble. Still got a release window. Don't know when, but it's still in development. But there's a lot of problems that have been going on with the game. Perfect Dark Zero wasn't a great game. It was a launch game for the 360. It's a shame though because the Perfect Dark on the 64 was great. It was like you could tell it was sort of like it had the GoldenEye sort of engine and vibe. I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, but that wasn't a good game at all. So that's going at an F. Crackdown. I've actually just realised that I've got Crackdown. I don't know how, but you can download it for free from the PlayStation Store. The Xbox Store. I recently downloaded it and installed it, and it still holds up. Great game. Play as an agent, which is like a super cop, and you've got to go around and kill all the heads of these the crime bosses around. I can't remember what the city's called, but you get a car. You got to collect these. You can collect all these things that make you jump higher, punch faster. You can get stronger. You can eventually pick cars up and stuff. So I enjoyed Crackdown. I would definitely put it up as an S game for me. Really, really enjoyed it. BioShock. BioShock's a phenomenal game. It's just a great story game. The world, the underwater city, Rapture, Andrew Ryan in this sort of like underwater society where he's decided to break away from the people above the sea level to create his own utopia. A lot of different ways to play the game. You have all these abilities that you can use: fire, lightning, and swarm. Insects and stuff. And you inject yourself. You have these little kids that you can save or harvest for Adam. And then you got the big daddy bosses. They're not even bosses, but they're really hard to kill. Really, really great story. Would you kindly? It's a little reference there, but I don't want to spoil it. But it's got a great twist at the end. Amazing game. Would probably put that up at an S as well. Never played a Madden, nor will I. Never played Fallout, which is going to surprise a lot of people. Never played a Fallout game. Just a franchise that I could never really get into. I actually did play Fallout 3. I went over to Blockbuster and bought it because it was pre-owned. Took it home, played it, and took it back within a couple of hours, and I was just like, it's not for me. I know that it's a great game. It's probably for a lot of people up here. But for me, no, I wouldn't say that I've played enough of it to sort of... And that goes the same for Fallout. Fallout 4, I bought that as well. I've tried to start that game so many times, just couldn't get into it. I really prefer the Elder Scrolls side of them kind of games. Fallout's not really my cup of tea, so that's going to stay there, unfortunately. Never played Call of Duty 3, I don't think. So that's going to go there. Rainbow Six Vegas. I played this and really enjoyed it. Tactical game. Before, obviously... the new one came out. I can't remember what it is. Rainbow Six Siege, that's the one. Quite enjoyed it. Had a great story. A lot of using gadgets and stuff. I would probably stick that at a B as well, to be fair. Mass Effect 2, easily one of my favourite games. Best sequel to any game that I've ever played. Really enjoyed Mass Effect. Amazing story. Just absolutely raised everything that Mass Effect 1 built, and the story was just amazing. I can't speak highly enough of Mass Effect 2. It's just one of the best. Anytime there's the conversation with like, what's your favourite games of all time, Mass Effect 2 is always in there. The fact that you had to assemble a crew, you could do all these individual missions to gain loyalty to the person. So they all had their own interesting, like, playable backstory missions. And you were, going up against the Reapers, which you felt like there was this huge threat against humanity. I just loved it. I thought it was great. Amazing game. Staying up there at an SS for me. Mass Effect. I again love this game. It's better than Mass Effect 2 is better than Mass Effect, but Mass Effect is still a great game. I loved it. Totally different, type of game from BioWare. Really immersive. Such heavy on the dialogue and story and the choices you can make and everything. Saren was a great antagonist as well. Really enjoyed it. I think Mass Effect 1 and 2 are equally as good. Mass Effect 2 is obviously better because it's the better sequel, but for me, they both deserve to be up there. Lost Planet was an interesting game. It was like a third-person shooting game where you're fighting bugs on a snowy world. I really enjoyed the game. Can't really remember a lot about the story, but there was all these big boss fights that you had to, they had certain little glowy areas on the bodies that you had to hit and stuff. So I quite enjoyed that. I would strongly recommend going to anyone to go play that. I would say it was probably an A for me. Never played Guitar Hero Legends. Never played a Madden game, nor will I. Never played a Rock Band game. Dead Rising. Dead Rising was an interesting game. It was a zombie, kind of like Dawn of the Dead style, where you're in a shopping mall. I think they had to put a disclaimer saying not related to Dawn of the Dead in any way or whatever. But you play as a guy called Frank, who's a photographer, and he's trying to capture the story of what's going on, and you had a time limit to sort of try and get bits of evidence. So if you weren't in a certain place at a certain time, you'd miss that option to get that part of the story. Basically, loads of zombies on the screen. You could use things from the different shops to fight in your quest for the story. Really, really good game, actually. Quite fun. I enjoyed that as well, so that's probably going to go at an A. Red Dead Redemption. Never played Red Dead Redemption.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
Tried to get into it, couldn't get into it. I remember buying it because one of our friends at the time said, "Oh, you can play online and you can create a posse." So we all bought it and went online, and it wasn't in anywhere near like GTA Online. It was basically just a massive team deathmatch. But I'm 2 as well. I know that's not even on the list, but I finished Red Dead Redemption 2. I didn't enjoy Red Dead Redemption 2. I know it's massively critically acclaimed by, critics and fans as well, but I just can't get into these cowboy-style games, so I'm going to stick that as a never played rather than put it in a grade, because I don't think I'd give it a fair crack of the whip. Never played a Madden game. Nor will I. Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion. Absolutely loved this game. Totally blew my mind. I remember when you play it, there's a lot of famous people in there. I remember Sean Bean's in there, and the guy who plays Picard, the bald guy, he was the Emperor at the start of the game. But Sean Bean was in there. He was a famous. I think he played Martin. Just the fact that every single character was voiced rather than Morrowind, you had to read all the stuff that people were saying. This was fully voiced. Such a huge game. Just the way that these games, when you leave the tutorial area and it just opens up and it's basically like just go and do anything you want. I remember playing this game, and it actually one of the games that actually gave me the Red Ring of Death. Oblivion for me, apparently it's getting a remake as well, but it's up there. It's better. I think it's better than Skyrim. I think Skyrim's been milked to hell. There it is. I think it's better than Skyrim, although Skyrim's probably going to go up at an SS as well, but I prefer Oblivion over Skyrim, but just a great game. Assassin's Creed 2, never played Assassin's Creed 2, never played a Saints Row game. Guitar Hero 1 and 2, I think I've played them and I would probably put them at a C. Forza, not my cup of tea, never played it. Uno's an absolute banger. Marvel's Ultimate Alliance. We're getting into a lot of games that I haven't played. I never played that. Never played that either. Dance Central. You would never catch me playing a Dance Central game ever. The original Assassin's Creed. I loved it. Thought it was great. Although looking back on it, it's probably not that good, considering how far the franchise has come mechanically, and it was very bare bones. But for the time when it released, it was like, wow, what's this game? It looks really cool. Really cool story. Quite enjoyed that. Never played Forza 2. Battlefield 3 is an amazing game. I absolutely loved Battlefield 3. I thought it was great. The graphics were fucking amazing. Some of the maps, like Metro, great. They should really bring them maps back. Really enjoyed that game. Probably the best Battlefield game I think I've ever played. Yeah, it was better than Bad Company 2, although some people might disagree with that. Connect. Fuck off. Halo 3 ODST. Never played it. Never played Halo 3 ODST. I know it's a spin-off where you play as an actual human. Play as Master Chief, and it's a separate little story. Maybe it's a game that I'll visit in the future. Gears of War 3. Probably should do the Gears of War games in order, actually. So Gears of War, the first one, actually just recently replayed the remake, where you can have all the updated graphics and stuff. But Gears of War is a great game. S. Gears of War 2, it's just more of the same, but with a deeper story. I would put them at an S. They're not amazing game. Well, they are an S. They're an S. They're better than an A. They're not as good as them, in my opinion. So, love the characters. Marcus Phoenix, just these. I'm surprised they haven't made a film. Dave Bautista would be perfect for Marcus Phoenix role. But the chainsaw gun, just hacking up locusts, third-person cover-based shooter. Really, really enjoyed them games. World at War kind of came in. I played World at War, but I think the version I got, I was really late to the party with that, and everything was just hacked. You know, the sky was purple and people were just flying around and stuff. So I had a really bad experience with World at War. I'm probably going to put it at a... Never played the story. I'm going to put never played because I didn't give it a fair chance. Fable. Right, let's get these in order as well. Where is Fable? Oh, Fable's not even on here. Oh, that must have been Xbox One. Xbox original game. Fable's getting a new game coming out. I don't know when that's coming, but I'm hoping it's going to be good. I think it's being made by the people that make Forza games. I'm not too sure. Playhouse, I could be wrong there. But I love the Fable games. I thought the Fable games were great. I'm going to put them at an S. Fable 3, I really enjoyed the story of that as well. It was a massive twist at the end of that as well. Really good games. Just them games that you could. I mean, it's from the great liar Peter Molyneux. But the fact that you could be good or evil and everything, you know, your decisions and the things you did affected your character and that. I think Fable 2 was the one where you had a dog. And Fable 3 was where you were sort of going against your evil brother or something. And there was a massive twist at the end, which was kind of cool. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, a game changer, absolute belter of a game. The game that really put Call of Duty multiplayer on the map. Just, you know, probably one of the best Call of Duty's stories and multiplayers ever. You can actually play the remastered version still, servers still up. Batman Arkham City, a great game again. Love the Arkham games, really sort of perfected and set the standard for superhero games and what superhero games can be with the combat, the sort of countering ability. A lot of games now are using that. Spider-Man uses that heavily. So Batman's story was fantastic. Bigger than Arkham Asylum. You're actually in you're not in Gotham. You're in a city that's just outside of the asylum. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Them games are fantastic. Halo 4. In fact, can we do the Halos in order? Halo 2, Halo Reach, Halo 4. So Halo 2, I loved Halo 2. I thought the story was good, but I didn't like the way it ended on a cliffhanger. The whole playing as the Arbiter and Chief as well was kind of cool. Really cool multiplayer. Halo, for me, Halo 2 is going to go an S. Halo Reach was a prequel to Halo 1, seeing what happened to the team that came before Master Chief. And it all ties into the Halo story towards the end. I loved it. I loved Reach. I thought it was great. Really great game. That's also going an S. Halo 4. Awful. Awful game. Awful story. Every single Halo game that's come out after Reach has been pitiful in my opinion. 343, I haven't got a clue what they're doing with the franchise. Halo Infinite multiplayer is amazing. It's back on track. But the story is awful. The guns were awful. The ammo, like, you know, I felt like I was forever just dropping guns and picking new guns up, firing 2 bullets, and then having to look for ammo and stuff. And it was just a really bad game in my opinion. The boss was ridiculous as well. I really didn't enjoy Halo 4 at all. Call of Duty Ghosts, considered one of the worst Call of Duties. I didn't play the story, never play the story for Call of Duty. I always just play the multiplayer, and I didn't like it. That's going at an GTA 4, easily better than GTA 5. I don't care what anyone says. It's better mechanically. It's got a better story. It's got a better villain. Nico's a better protagonist. It's got just a better, grittier Liberty City set in the modern day. Just really, really good. The fact that you could ring up people and go on dates and all that sort of stuff. I would love a remake of that. So that's going up there for me. Minecraft. Never played Minecraft. I've tried to play Minecraft. It's not for me. Modern Warfare 2, probably up there as well for me. Just builds on everything that Modern Warfare created. The multiplayer was fantastic as well. The story was amazing. It's one of the best stories I've played. One of the only stories that I've played in Call of Duty. Makarov, the whole airport thing at the start, amazing game, controversial. Really kicked the hornet's nest with the media with that one. Skyrim. Now, Skyrim, I can't believe how much they've milked this game. I have bought Skyrim on the Switch. I've bought Skyrim on the PlayStation 5. I've bought Skyrim on the Series X. I've played Skyrim through Alexa. I've played Skyrim on the original PlayStation VR. I've got it on PC as well. I've reinstalled it because I've been tinkering with the mods to try and make the game look better and install graphical upgrades and stuff. The modding community on it is fantastic. Skyrim's a great game, but it has been milked to shit. Do you know what I mean? So I'm probably going to put Skyrim an S, because I still think Oblivion's a better one. Black Ops, amazing. Amazing story. One of probably my favourite side to Call of Duty. You know, I prefer the Black Ops games over the other ones. That had the best multiplayer for me. Amazing, absolutely phenomenal multiplayer. That was brilliant. So that's staying up there. Black Ops 2, probably would put that at an S. Never played the story, but again, the multiplayer was really good. Modern Warfare 3, not as good as 4 or 2. Probably going to stick that at an A. Probably a B, actually. GTA 5, massively overrated. I like the story. It's sort of, the villain's really shit. The graphics are amazing. Online's cool as well, I suppose. I love Trevor and the switching between 3 characters and the heists. That was all good, but nowhere near patch on 4. So that's staying there as well. Never played Skate. Never played Skate 2. Never played Castle Crashers. Never played Fallout New Vegas. Never played Monday Night Combat. Never played Rocket Bike Racer. Never played Sneak King. Never played Big... What does that say? What's it even say? Big something? Can't remember. We got Borderlands. Borderlands is a game that boasts millions of guns. It's cel-shaded, and you could play with friends. It had quite a big open world, had quite a big story as well. I quite enjoyed Borderlands 1 and 2, and I'm going to stick them up at an A. Both of them, actually. Never played Borderlands 3, although I do have it. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Really enjoyed the multiplayer to this game, where you could actually blend in with characters and the NPCs, and you had to really sort of trick the person you were playing against. I really enjoyed the story as well, so I'll probably stick that at an A as well, to be fair. And then you got Left 4 Dead 2, which was sort of building on Left 4 Dead, you know, the original Left 4 Dead. You could play, it was set in like Louisiana down south, different characters, different story, but still an amazing game. And that's it. So that's the list. Now, this was a bit of a short list. You know, I don't really want to pick these lists that are absolutely massive. So that's where we're at there. So that's the list. So with these tier lists for Tuesday, I sort of sieve through the tier list website and I try and pick a topic that I'm sort of familiar with. You know, there's thousands and thousands of topics on there. I don't really want to pick huge lists. I did see like the best video games of all time, and it was 250 video games. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if I could sit here and do that. I would end up being like a 3-hour video or something stupid, and then I'd have to edit it as well. So I like to try and sort of pick things that sort of have a little bit of a not too small but not too big sort of list. So that's what I'm sort of going to do going forward. That is this week's tier. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Next week we'll do something video game related as well. I'm actually think I'm going to pre-record the day before, because this week's been a bit weird because I've been at work this week. My days off have fallen on the back end of the week, so not on Tuesday, so I might have to do this around work. But we'll keep it going. I'm enjoying doing them, but there will be different ones. As I said, there'll be best consoles of all time, PlayStation 4 exclusives, Sega games, Nintendo. There's loads of stuff we could play about with for it. So let's just leave that there. That is the video, and we'll see you on the next one.